Wi-Fi Sheep would like to say a huge thank you to all of you that kindly support us. Help us continue to bring new videos like this. Join patreon.com/Wi-Fi Sheep from just $1 a month. Hi everyone, how you doing? And welcome back to Wi-Fi Sheep right here on YouTube with me, Tom. Now, we have just come back from doing this year's Retro Computer Festival. This happened on October the 9th and 10th, 2021, and was the first festival in these post-COVID new normal times. Those of you that couldn't make it for various reasons no doubt saw my live streams from the event here on the YouTube channel. Now, these weren't quite the normal quality I try and do. They were literally ad hoc and shot on my phone. So in this video, we're going to take a look back at the show highlights, including edited clips from the live streams and some pre-recorded content I also managed to shoot during the weekend. Naturally, the sound and picture quality will be a little bit up and down depending on which footage I'm using, but I've done my best to edit and improve things where possible. However, before we continue, I'd like to introduce you to a brand new sponsor we have here on Wi-Fi Sheep, introducing CheapHost UK. Do you have a need for reliable, cost-effective web hosting for your blog, business or personal website? If so, then look no further than CheapHost UK. CheapHost UK's basic plan starts from just 58 pence per month. That's £9.99 a year. Say goodbye to unreliable hosting and support. CheapHost UK was built to not only provide reliable hosting, but also to provide customers with a support system every day of the year. And if you're in need of a little bit more, CheapHost UK premium packages start from just £1.41 a month or £16.99 per year, complete with a free .co.uk domain. New customers can also take advantage of an extra 10% discount when purchasing any new hosting package or domain name from CheapHost UK. Use discount code SHEEP, that's SHEEP, to get an extra 10% off. For reliable, cost-effective web hosting and domain names, look no further than CheapHost UK. Full details and an affiliate link are in the description to this video. So back to our coverage of this year's Retro Computer Festival. Now, the festival itself was held at the Centre for Computing History in Cambridge. Wi-Fi Sheep's own content primarily consisted of tiny basic computers, RISC OS Direct, and I also bought my clone, the C64 full-size Commodore 64 clone unit that many of you will have known. We've done quite a bit of content here on the channel. The event was really well received, and it was also oversubscribed on the Saturday. There were spaces on the Sunday, but it was busy on both days. Anyway, without further ado, let's have a look at some of the interviews and some of the other exhibitors I caught up with during the day. And we'll start with Adrian Graham from Binary Dinosaurs.
We have. Where are you going? Left to right or right to
I
left?
don't. We'll start with the BBC Micro. Work that way.
That is Torch Dispatch for the XDP.
Okay.
Running CPN of the Torch Z80 board. We've got a Z80 board here,
Yeah.
hooked into the tube, and a boot ROM. And it's boot CPN from ROM, and you've got all your
Got underneath here, hiding. You wouldn't see it.
all your standard CPN things.
There we go. I think I had one of these, it never worked, but anyway, moving on. Moving on.
Intertech Superbrain, 1979.
Terminal or standalone machine?
That's a standalone machine.
Standalone machine.
So that's a Superbrain QD, which confused everybody at the time because QD to Intertech means quad data. Everybody thought they were super fancy disk drives, but they're not. They're just double density.
Yeah.
They were just torches. Intertech's way of confusing the market, and it worked. Standard CPM machine runs CPM 2.2.
So that's CPM running, is it? Yeah.
Yeah. It's actually running Zork at the minute.
Oh yes, so it is.
Gotta have a bit of zork on your CPM machine.
Bit of entertainment, yeah. And then
we have that thing on the top.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's actually a ZX81.
Is it really?
So I'm just about to take the lid off. You can pause a couple of seconds, I'll get the lid off.
So did it start life as a ZX81 or? Oh, it's not like, is it a clone or does it actually start life as a proper?
No, it started life as a real ZX81.
Oh, right.
And somebody in France, you know not who, started using them as a basis for, I think, some sort of industrial controller. This one has a 25-pin serial port, and the L-print command was being hijacked. So whatever your program did, you L-printed out the back and it goes out the serial port.
Oh, blimey. Yep, it is in there, you can see it. There's the board.
So it's got no onboard memory. 16K parts.
Yeah.
One very much either a prototype of the other or a handmade copy of the other. And then the ROM board is beautifully wire wrapped. Has the keyboard ROM, SRAM on there, and a couple of other things that I haven't yet fully explored. And I thought it was the only one in existence, and then literally last week, a French lad called Jeff messaged me, said, I've got one of them.
Yeah.
And he's got this keyboard.
So this is, alright, okay, yeah.
One thing the French were really good at was taking ZX81s and putting them in wacky keyboards.
Yes.
They had a little cottage industry.
Gosh.
So he's quite reluctant to actually work on this because it's all similar yellow wire wrap.
Yes, yeah.
And it's a mess, to be fair.
Yeah.
So this one's obviously the second generation.
Especially out on the end there, blimey, look at that.
Beautiful, isn't it? And the case is actually a Data Precision 3500 multimeter case.
And just very quickly, what's the unit underneath?
So the Arca Genie 3, which was the Arca better known for the Video Genie 1 TRS-80 Model 1 compatible machines that were marketed by Dick Smith in Australia as a System 80 and spread all over the world. Really nice machine. What they tried to do was a proper grown-up business machine running NewDOS 80 and also CPM, so that without doing anything other than changing the boot disk, it will run NewDOS 80, CPM 2.2 or CPM 3. It's just the Z80, 64K.
Yeah.
Supports single and dual density floppy drives. The floppy controller board's got both controller chips on. Unfortunately, it doesn't work.
And oh, okay.
It was given to me without a video subsystem.
So looks nice, but yeah.
I thought I'll put it in that and make a static display out of it.
Yeah.
So I borrowed the screen from my other Super Brain.
Just I see. Okay. Okay. We're going to have to run in a minute, but just a quick plug. What's the website? BinaryDinosaurs.co.uk. Well worth checking out. Adrian, thank you so much. We're going to move on. Really busy. The time is just past 1 o'clock in the afternoon now, and it is it's hotting up in here. Lots going on, lots to see. I haven't actually had lunch yet. Hope you can hear me all right. I'm being a bit muffled with all the masks that are sort of compulsory here, but not quite. Oh, while we're here, 1975. Yes, it is the MITS Altair system. This is something very much inspired. You can't really see that, unfortunately, because of the case, but very much a system that inspired Tiny Basic computers. And I've really loved this sort of stuff, so it'd be nice to do more of that in the future. Of course, that's the museum content. What have we got with exhibitor content? Loads of stuff. Most of which I couldn't comment on because I don't know what I'm looking at, but let's have a look. Let's have a look all the same. Oh, this is cool. Something can squeeze in. If I can actually show you that. Look at that. That's quite something. Binary Dinosaurs, we spoke to them earlier on. And of course you've got all the systems from the museum themselves. Notice how they've actually got cling film all over them in order to allow people to use them sort of COVID safe environment where possible, so they can actually spray and wipe clean. I did wonder how well that was going to work, because obviously if you've got these old systems, they're running hot anyway, and then you've got this cling film stuff on them. Wasn't sure about that, but obviously they seem to be working okay. So here's the gaming arcade area of the museum. So this is all content that's here on a normal day. Really cool. All the systems you can actually try out. Notice how they've actually got the controllers all wrapped up as well, sort of COVID safety. So it's an impressive way of doing things to actually make sure it's safe for people to use. So there's more early systems here. And we've got down here, Original Odyssey. Not many in the UK, so really cool to actually see that. One of the early Pong consoles. And most of these are working. I say most of them, some of them aren't. What a surprise that your television isn't, but there we go. And of course, my favourite, NES. Let's have a quick look at the portables. It's scary. I remember machines like this. My father, for his work, had machines like this back in the very early 1990s. So, again, I stress, this is all just museum content. Most of it's actually hands-on. Let's have a quick look through here. Again, this is sort of the back of the museum, so it's a bit quieter. Mainframes. I'll be brutally honest, a lot of this I don't 100% know what I'm looking at, so I can't be giving you particularly great commentary today. Oh, I don't know if you can see that, the terminal screen. Can you see that screen burn on that terminal? Yeah. It's done some heavy work, that. Luckily, it does actually explain what most of the exhibits, if I can get out the light, there we are. So it tells you actually what it is. So it's generally, the museum is great to visit anyway. Dave, welcome to Wi-Fi Chic. Thank you for taking the opportunity to talk to us. Now, can we just start with Big Blue in the room? Taking up most of the room, can I just point out? It looks amazing. Just talk us through what exactly this is.
Well, this is an Insight 8080 from 1976. 8080 basically, obviously, yeah.
So does it run Microsoft Basic?
It does. It does. It runs all CPM software, so Microsoft Basic, WordStar, SuperCalc, and of course
Zork, as it is at the moment. Now, yesterday I asked about the rather strange looking disk drive, and you explained about the keyboard terminal.
Yeah, well, the disk drives, because Insight drives are quite rare and silly expensive. These are actually from the BBC Micro,
Which is why they look familiar.
Yes, yeah. got 6 braids blue to match the and this one, it's an electron.
Not a mercury terminal, people. Acorn electron.
Yeah, an acorn electron case, been least braid, replacement PCB and BBC keypad.
Which actually looks really cool. You didn't know its shape.
Yeah, a few people have spotted it, but
Yeah. So just quickly, can we talk about the Apple One?
yes.
So, is this a real Apple One?
No.
No. Okay.
You can tell the difference because there's no arm security. Yeah.
True.
So yeah, to replicate PCB, the keyboard is actually vintage. So
Yes.
That's not some components, but it is a replica.
And it doesn't work.
It does now, yes.
It doesn't. Oh, it didn't originally.
No, just last week, a couple of months ago, the iPhone regulator blew up.
So where can we find you online?
I'm mainly on Twitter. I've been building my own website for years, but not quite there yet, so Devilish Design.
And we'll put that link into the description of the video. Dave, thank you so much for your time.
No problem, thank you.
Now, when I was live a few hours ago, many of you commented on what was this breadboard beeb, as it was called in the comments, sitting here at the desk. Well, I finally got hold of the gentleman in question, who's the creator of it, Dolo. Is that correct? Yes. Hello, sir. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. So, yeah, many of us have looked at this and gone, well, we thought it was a BBC, but that's no BBC micro I've ever seen. Would you like to just give us a brief overview of what this is?
Yeah, so it's called, I have called this the BBC, but it actually stands for breadboard computer.
Okay.
And because I put it in a BBC case, somebody else thought of the name actually, so I thought that's a great name for it, breadboard computer BBC. So it started a few years ago. I just wanted to build my own computer, and I looked around, did a bit of research. I saw a lot of people have got their own machines, made their own machines, but I wanted to do that as more fully featured, with graphics and sound, kind of something back in the mid-80s, early 80s that you could pick up at W.H. Smith's.
Yeah.
So I wanted something fully featured, if you like. So this one is a 6502 machine. So here is so that's the 6502 processor there.
Okay.
Running at 5.3 megahertz, so it's more than twice as fast as a
I was going to say, that's fast. Yeah.
And it's surprising that it works on a breadboard as well. And then for graphics, what I looked at different options, some more difficult than others, but actually the Texas Instruments TMS 9918A, which is what you find in an MSX.
Can you point that out to us? Where's that?
Yeah,
that one there. Yeah.
Okay. This chip here is the TMS 9918A.
Okay.
So that's the video, and then I thought, right, I also need sound, because it needs to have sound if it's going to be a computer that would compete against its peers in the 80s. So over here we have a General Instruments AY38910.
Oh, nice.
It is the same that you find in more or less in the MSX. Also the same that's in the Oric. Same
yes,
sound.
I was going to say, I recognised it from somewhere. Yeah.
And even a variation of it, I think, is what you find in the Atari ST. So that's channel sound with one noise channel you can mix with the channels. This has got 32 hardware sprites, it's got high resolution mode, and it's got a couple of different text modes.
Wow.
And now for input outputs, the only thing I compromised on is for mass storage, I decided to go down an SD card. So here I've got an SD card breakout board.
Okay, yeah.
It's connected directly to the input output. Just behind this.
Just there we are.
Yeah, that there
Yes.
is a 6522 VIA chip, and I'm software controlling the ports. So I'm basically bit banging the SPI to talk to the SD card. I've got another 6522 here, which is primarily used to drive this BBC keyboard to interface with BBC.
Okay, yeah.
And then finally, I've also got a 6551, which is the serial chip. So this can work over serial as well as through the keyboard.
What's the crystal there rated at?
That's 1.8 something megahertz
Okay.
to get the right board rate.
Right, yeah, I'm with you. Yeah.
What we have over here is the clock circuitry. It's a 21.7 megahertz master crystal.
Okay,
And then
yes.
divide by 2 for the video chip to get 10.7 megahertz, and then divide by 2 again to get the 6502 clock.
Yeah.
So this took a while, a few years ago, built it up, and then of course what you need is software.
Yes.
Without software, it's just a piece of metal. So it's just part of my own learning experience and throughout my own personal club. I built all of the BIOS from scratch in 6502 assembly.
Oh gosh, really?
So driving the keyboard, driving the screen.
Yeah.
One of the most fun things was actually driving the SD card, not just to getting the bytes in and out of the SD card, but also the layer on top of it, which is the FAT16 file system. So it's actually compatible with the DOS file system. FAT16, not FAT13. So short file.
So these weren't off-the-shelf libraries then? These weren't. No. Gosh.
And so for me, it was a learning experience as well. So learning how I know FAT16, but really knowing how it works is what's needed to obviously write a library in 6502 assembler that's going to be able to load and save in FAT16. And then on top of that, just because I'm called 6502 Nerd on Twitter for a reason, I'm a nerd and I wanted to create a computer language as well. So I could port BBC Basic or something like that, but I decided I'd go from scratch, and so I built my own computer programming language. I call it D flat, which is a joke on C sharp.
Yes.
So it's nothing like C sharp. It's basically a variation of basic. But with structured commands. So
you've created. Is it interpreted then?
It's a tokenizing basic. So,
okay.
So it does interpret, but the when you enter a line, like if I type if I do print line hello, that is the text is then tokenized. So the print line is 1 byte in the tokenized.
Oh, okay. Instead of yeah.
So that then it can run it faster when you actually run it. But the point about this basic is it uses line numbers, but you cannot use goto or gosub. So there's no way to access the line numbers. So it's a fully procedurally defined language.
Oh, right.
So I would have to define a procedure like this. I would have to define a procedure. If I list this program, define start, something called start, execute anything between there and there, and then to execute it, you just type the name of the procedure. So
a little bit different from random list.
Exactly. Now of course I wanted to then with this entire stack that I've written from the BIOS all the way up to a programming language. But I need to write some software to show it working. So I'll go to this folder on my SD card, which is part of my file system. I've got something called games in here. If I load this, spelled it correctly.
Oh, I do it all the time. Don't worry. Don't worry.
And now you can see it flashing there because it's loading the blocks. The data blocks from the SD card, and then obviously now it's also tokenizing as it's loading. It takes a few seconds, even at 5 megahertz. But then once it's loaded, I'll quickly list it. But then so it looks like basic. What you can see is that the line numbers are just there to put the program statements in sequence. This thing called def clock shape takes parameters, it's got local variables, etc. And then this program to start it, you call the procedure called start, and then it starts. So that's the what you were just saying a second ago. But so what this is, of course, is a the D-flat program being interpreted by the D-flat interpreter,
yeah.
which is then running on top of a BIOS on my homebrew machine. So
I will admit, I'd just been playing this a few minutes before we came on air, and I sucked basically.
well,
I got distracted.
Yeah, so this was the game. Now, the thing about D-flat is it was probably the thing that took the longest. Building hardware was really fun, and it's quite a powerful machine. I'd say it's more than 2 times faster than BBC.
Blooming heck, it is, yeah.
Wow. But D-flat as a language, I've ported it so that maybe it's possible for us to play onto the Oric as well. So it's actually available on the Oric now as well, D-flat. If people want to fire up the emulator on their PC, they can actually load D-flat onto their Oric emulator and try it. So yeah, that's what.
Many questions. The main one being is, where can people find you online?
Oh, okay. Twitter handle is 6502nerd, and if you go there, then you'll see the Hackaday site, who I've documented all this on Hackaday. You'll also get to the GitHub repository for software. It's all there for people to have a look at and suggest any improvements or ideas. But yeah, it's my little thing that keeps me busy in the dark hours.
It's absolutely fantastic. It really is. And I said when I sort of swept past it in our previous live stream, and people were like, what's that? Talk to him. I said, he's busy, I can't talk to him. But thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us live.
Thank you very much for asking.
So there we go, an absolutely fantastic event. If you missed out this year, don't worry, I have it on good authority that the event will be back next year for 2022. It may even be bigger and in a different venue, according to what the rumours are saying at the moment. And of course, I'll keep you posted on that. I just want to say a huge personal thank you to Binary Dinosaurs, David Williams, and the 6502 Nerd for showing their fantastic projects and for talking to me here on Wi-Fi Sheep. We also must give a huge thank you to Tony Jewell and the staff and coordinators at the Centre for Computing History in Cambridge for organising and putting on this event. It's no small task, and we are greatly appreciative of all the great work they do. Now, Wi-Fi Sheep itself has a couple more events left in the year, these being 2 Stafford Raspberry Pi Jams that are still planned to go ahead in November and December. Details are on screen now. And of course, you can find out about our future planned events by going to events.wifisheep.co.uk. As always, if you haven't done already, please do consider liking and subscribing to us here on Wi-Fi Sheep. And as always, I will see you real soon right here on the channel. Thank you so much for your company. If you made it in person, it was fantastic to meet you. And I, of course, will see you real soon right here on the channel. Until next time, bye for now.